Welcome to Sonny Knowles Farm. It's a brisk mid-September morning in Minnesota here, and we're going to talk about composting this morning. Not so much as how to compost, but a method of composting. We're talking about a 3-bin method, which kind of simplifies it for, I call for the lazy gardener. So we're gonna stroll on down, and I'm gonna show you what my compost bin looks like. And if you stay tuned to this channel, later on we're going to show you a little bit of construction methods on building something like this. So typically people have a 1-bin composter and they're trying to spin it and turn it and all that stuff, and I've discovered, if you can see, this one was made out of pallets, and I soon discovered that that was a lot of work because you could never get at the compost you wanted. And so I added 2 more bins, one for finished compost, and we keep the finished compost covered constantly all the time, except when we're loading it, so that it doesn't get wet and the nutrients don't leach out from the rain. And the other bin, we call it our, actually it's kind of the 2nd-year bin. We keep that covered when we can, keep it from leaching out. But this is what compost should look like toward the end of the 2nd year, and we'll explain a little bit more about this. I've built these bins so that you don't have to reach in. All you got to do is lift up the end board here, and there's a couple of them in here. There's one more if you need to kind of give you access. So let's just talk a little bit about cycling through this. All right, so this is compost that's been going on since late last fall. So late last fall, this kind of bin was over there. So we said we got all of our finished compost out of there, and we threw it in the center bin, and we started moving all of the stuff like this. So this is really late date compost material that hasn't broken down much. But in about a month's time, I'm going to transfer the top of that to that empty bin. We're going to use up that compost by putting it in the finished bin, and I'm going to transfer that. So the order of events is we'll use up this compost. I've been hoarding it because I'm going to be putting in a lot of compost in my new raised bed garden over here, and it's going to take a lot of compost. So I've been hoarding it. That's why there's an extreme amount of compost in there. And when that's empty, we're going to transfer this compost into this bin. It'll be ready, some for this fall, some for next spring. And when this bin is empty here, that's when we're in, and in the, right before freeze up time, we're going to start, and we're going to take off this top uncomposted material, and we're going to transfer it over to that empty bin, because it's not going to compost during the winter time. Nothing will. It's going to cool down. But I want to show you that even early in the spring and through the summer, we had some definite composting going on. And so I might take it down to about this layer right here and throw that all in the starter bin, and then I will mix this one up. You see how much easier it is to mix this up separate from all this tangly stuff. So then at the end of the year, I'll have uncomposted material back at the bottom over there, partially composted material in here that's been stirred up, and then we're going to go into the winter months. All right, so then next spring, we'll start adding more garden debris, kitchen waste, yard waste, and we'll start adding it on top of what we put in there last fall. And we'll build that all summer long. We're not going to stir it, we're just going to let it go. It's kind of like the forest, you know, stuff falls off the trees and nobody comes up and stirs it. It's not green, it's brown, but it all composts down. And it's kind of like you just put it in there and forget about it. And that's what I like about this method, is that you just got 3 bins, you can transfer it, and you can get at the compost that you need throughout the year at various stages. We're going to take you over to the neighbors, James and Ashley, and they're getting ready to build a compost bin similar to this. We've got it redesigned just a little bit different, and we're going to show you kind of like where most people start composting. and they soon find out that, hey, this method just doesn't work for me. We need to do something different. And so we're gonna take you over to James and Ashley's place and show you what conventional purchase compost bin might look like, and then how we're gonna improve it. Frustrating, isn't it, James?
Very, very.
All right, this is the last of the compost out of the third-year bin. We're gonna put it in this raised bed here. We're gonna amend this bed. What I like to do is to kind of keep it uniform. I put it in a windrow across the bed just to make sure that it's kind of the same thickness through the entire bed. So you kind of see that I'll be spreading this out. So folks, this is what we've been working hard for all 3 years here. We've been adding and stirring and separating and being careful what we put in the bin. And this is your black hole. It's got all the micro bugs in there. It's got lots of nutrients. Look how rich and black it is. It smells terrific, and it is gonna feed your garden. It's gonna add tilth to your garden, drainage. It does everything good, nothing bad. So compost is nature's way of rebuilding soil. It happens in the farm fields, it happens in the forests, it happens in the lawn, and it's nature's way of replenishing the soil. Think about a glacier swept everything clean down to the sand and rock, and over hundreds and hundreds of thousands of years, even 5,000 years, you'll start seeing soil replenish itself just by plant matter growing, falling down, decomposing, and putting life back into the soil. So I'm an advocate of composting. It's free. You get rid of your yard waste, you get rid of your kitchen waste, you save room in the landfills, and it's the right thing to do. It grows great tasting vegetables. So I'm sold. Hopefully all you guys will be sold on this thing too. Jack at Stony Knolls Farm signing off.